I'm Alison Nolan, Content Curator for In the Room, and I recently caught up with Scott O'Brien from the innovative Sydney-based company Explore Engage to get some insights ahead of his presentation at the conference. So Scott, which room in history would you like to have been in?
Well, the boardroom at Apple headquarters when Steve Jobs returned for the second time. So a lot of humility and a lot of opportunity would have made for an amazing, unique experience.
And what emotion do you think you would have felt when he walked in?
Depends what side of the fence I was on, but I think there was maybe an element of being smug about the situation, or I guess entitlement that he's come back to his baby, and I think it's extremely great for society that he managed to come back to that company and help us change our lives.
Thinking about your presentation for the In the Room conference, can you wrap that up into an overview or a message that the audience will learn from attending?
Yeah, so the internet as we understand it is information and memories put together on a screen. And augmented reality is that and more. It's that information and memories in context with the real world in real time. So it's contextualized and it helps people make decisions quicker, helps enhance lives, save lives, make money, save money at a lot more efficient rate than just the information on the screen. So I'm going to help show people how they can take advantage of that in their industry and how it will be a major catalyst to disruption throughout a lot of different industries.
I imagine some people think of augmented reality being in the realms of science fiction and not something which is a commercial application at this point. Do you think we've passed that point now, and are we seeing examples of its use that's returning revenue to a business?
We're definitely starting to see a step past the tipping point for augmented reality being perceived as just a gimmick. Marketing and advertising definitely helped kick the industry off and help build a base of developers around the world. But we're now starting to see applications relevant for the property construction industries, for medical and so on. So it's starting to get more serious practical use cases being commercialised. And we're definitely seeing the research companies predicting exponential growth in the industry, some predicting from $5.5 billion by 2016 and others incorporating the growth and use of augmented reality in motor vehicles affecting $600 billion of the world economy in the next 5 years. So it's definitely moved past this gimmick stage.
And with the increasing availability of 3G and related availability of rich media, what do you think is the single biggest cultural shift that the increased application of augmented reality will bring to society or to business?
That's a very good question, and I think that visualising data, animations in the real world in real time is more or less like bringing the Hollywood special effects to the power of our own devices. And with that, there is just so many things that people can be enabled to do, whether it's to help save lives or to be more efficient in their job or to understand, I guess, more easily what opportunities there are around them just in time. So very much enhancing proximity marketing, and that's why Google has been so keen to invest in the technology and incorporate it in its mainstream products. So their influence is fairly key, and as Forrester's report, the top 5 internet companies of the world are going to help grow this technology significantly in the next 5 years, and that will definitely change our relationship with key data, information and memories, our social media practices, all sorts of things.
And so what are the implications as you see them for the business leaders of tomorrow for the next 18 months to 2 years, and how might augmented reality be applied in their businesses?
Well, if they don't jump on board with infrastructure investments in the technology, their competitors will, because it will give them significant advantages. So we see results in the construction industry where people are operating with double the efficiency, and we see medical applications now empowering people remotely. So with a strain on health and an ageing population and all these kind of things. And of course also our constraints on the education sector. Augmented reality just facilitates so much intelligence and entertainment and information on call relevant to what you're looking at. So it's very much this age of taking the internet, the information and memories off a screen, but into the real world and empowering people to do many new wonderful things.
And are there any areas that you feel augmented reality doesn't have a place, or can it be universally applied to provide learning and advancement in all areas?
I can't see an industry not being affected by augmented reality in, say, the next 5 years. Some will be slower than others. So yeah, it's a bit of speculation who the next movers will be. But definitely marketing advertising has led the race, and we're now starting to see the property, medical, education sectors jump on board. The key factor is the spike in 3G connectivity around the world, and also, I guess, the iDevices and Samsung's growth facilitating the use of augmented reality to not just the first world, but soon the developed worlds. So there's reports of BRIC countries now having massive growth in 3G, and this is going to help facilitate much more exciting augmented reality experiences, but more importantly, the developers from these developing countries facilitating the first world and the developing world with all these great applications. So it's going to be an incredible change over the next 5 years, and quite possibly a greater change than we've had in the past 5 years.
What's the thing that excites you most, either in projects in development or what you see around you? What's exciting for you right now?
Disruption's pretty exciting, not only because of the digital aspects of it, but how, for an example, with Parkinson's patients, they have very manual and dignified ways of being able to walk again when they have freeze moments in the drops in their medication. So with just a simple augmented reality projection of a line in front of them, we can unfreeze, we can help them initiate gait, start walking again. And it's empowering people, it's saving hundreds of millions of dollars, and you know, that's a very, I guess, emotional benefit to the world and to their families.
And overall, what do you think are the top 3 things that the leaders of tomorrow should be focusing on in the next 18 months?
Well, I think augmented reality is number one. The industry is growing, and the people have got to be part of that growth if they want their businesses to prosper, have that market advantage. I think secondly, they need to be aware of the implications of 3G connectivity growth, and now we're seeing 4G as well. So there's going to be this very empowered consumer, and corporations are definitely going to be a lot more able to utilise digital assets and how they relate to the real world. We're going to see, I guess, thanks to people like Al Gore and his initiation of the Digital Earth project, we're going to see a lot more of our assets in a 3D digital world instead of our 2D print world. And then I think the phenomenon of gamification will move largely from a consumer experience to an enterprise experience to make our companies and economies a lot more efficient. And so I guess in the days we've had frequent flyers, this kind of behavioural influence is going to move into other ways we manage not only our sales staff but all sorts of other staff in our companies to bring out efficiencies in double-digit percentage growth and all sorts of other benefits.